Hi, my name is Will Davis with World Composting, and today we're going to go over the Urban Worm Bag version 2.0. I think it's been about 26 or 28 days since my last update, and it's time to add some food to it, I'm sure. Well, you're going to check to see if there's any bugs in there. Last time, before we had fruit flies, this last time there was none left in there, and it had been that way for a couple weeks. I'm hoping that it is still like that and there's none in there, but we're going to check and see if anything comes out. And then we're going to do an update here and probably add a whole ton of food because I'm sure that they need food. I'm sure that these worms are building back up after not having food for a while, and they are probably really anxious to eat, and the population should hopefully be building up as well. There should be hopefully some cocoons that we see, along with a ton of worms swarming that center section where we added food. So let's go and take a look and see how it's doing. All right, so here's our Urban Worm Bag version 2.0. Let's just open this up here and take a look and see what is in here. So as you can tell, lots and lots of paper. I am not seeing any bugs right now, which is always a good sign. So hopefully it'll stay that way. But let's just try to dig down here in the center here. Now there's a ton of bedding in here. I mean, absolute ton. Actually, I already see my first worm here. Wow, look at that. You just focus right there. You can see it right there. Nice big worm. There's actually another one right over here also in the material. So that's a good sign that the worms are already starting to work their way up into this paper. And I see another one already over there too. But let's just dig down in here. Now I don't have my zoom lens on, so I can't really zoom into this hole here, which is why I'll be focusing and then whenever I bring stuff up to the camera. But let's just dig down here and take a look. We had stuff really deep in here, as you can tell. I mean, this is a good 8 inches deep probably in here before we hit even what looks to be like it could be a mix of material. So you can see in here that it has a mix of some of the castings, and actually there's another worm, but we got to get really far down in there to get to this stuff. So just bring up a little bit more, and let's just see if we can focus here on that hole. Let's just dig up here. All right, here we go. Here's our first real handful of castings from the bottom. You can tell that there is a corn cob still in there. Not as many worms as I was hoping. I was hoping that there'd be a lot in there, but the food looks like it's gone, which is a good sign. So I'm glad to see that the food is gone. There we go. There's some worms right there. So it looks like they're doing okay in here. But let's just dig into one of these sides just a little bit. I'm trying to keep the worms down there since the top is so dry. They'll just dry out if they're up top. Oh, there's something in here that's, oh, there's a shirt down here. There's a shirt down here that they're working on. That's why it's just ripped apart in my hand. But that's why there's some issues right there pulling that out. But there's some worms on this shirt. This is also another material that they can, of course, eat. Not a big deal right there. Let's just see here. This is probably the shirt I was using to mark the area that we last fed. I just buried it in here. So I'm not going to pull this. I guess it's going to pull out everything from that side. Wow, look at that. So big shirt in there that's slowly being eaten away. Tons and tons of paper in here though. And we really need to start getting some worms going again on this material. So what we're going to do is we're going to move this off to the side a little bit. We're going to do another large feeding here in the middle. Let's just do one more handful down here just to see. So there we go. Finally got some worms in here. They can really see, and there's a good amount in this handful. They're down there in the bottom. It's quite a bit dry, but we're going to add quite a bit of food this time. And we're going to see if we can get them to, excuse me, perk up a little bit here and start really working here. So as we add more food to this, we're going to add more moisture automatically. But the first thing we're going to add though is something unique. I've never added one of these before. This is a coconut shell. This is going to take a long time to break down, I'm sure, but this is what Coco Coir or Coir is made of. But this is frozen right now. It's going to thaw out pretty quick probably, but there's not much moisture left in here. I did try to scrape it out to get the meat out of here, but I'm not very good at that. So, you know, and my kids really didn't like it, but I thought it was good. But, you know, so this had a juice in it, and this was something my wife bought. So we're going to put that in the bottom here. Pull that worm out of there. I don't want it to fall into the frozen section right there. But, you know, so we're going to put that in there. We're going to put a little bit of fresh bedding on top of it from the top here just to kind of keep it in there. And we're going to see. This is good. That's going to take a long time to break down. I bet that's going to take, I bet it's going to take a year. But we'll see how it comes out at the end here. Now, for the second part of this feeding, we're going to add this entire container here. We're going to add a lot of food. And this is a massive mixture of stuff. So, all right, there we go. There's the first part of it. And this has grapefruit in it, coffee grounds, spinach, carrot. I think it's focused on here. Oh, more coffee grounds, apple. So it's got a whole banana peels. It's got a whole horde of different materials for them to eat. So I know that we need to get this food going. I didn't see any fruit flies in here, and as we're going to zipper this back shut, and I don't really have any fruit flies in my basement, I'm hoping that this will not be a big issue that we're adding so much food to this. Now, as you can tell, there's orange peels and there's grapefruit in here, so we do need to add some of our crushed eggshells. That's right, we do need those in here. So let me take off my glove here, and we're going to add a whole bunch of crushed eggshell and crab shell to this. So, because they need that grit, and this is going to kind of balance out the pH of those materials. I'm going to add almost this entire container right here, just put it in there. Now, with this, it is a little bit dry, I think. I think it's too dry for the worms. So I've got my sprayer here, and we're going to add some water and just sort of water this down. Let me just make sure there's pressure in my sprayer. There is. And we're going to just get all of this wet. Yes, some of the there is moisture in these items too as they thaw out. There's going to be water running around, but these worms really do need some moisture in here. It's kind of dry at the bottom, and I want to make sure that I'm giving them that moisture that they will need to really start breaking this down. This should hopefully start going moldy and everything in the next couple days, and then we'll be able to go from there and have it break down. Now, I probably won't do another update for another month on here, but overall, it looks like this is finally starting to come back from the horrible position it was in, where it was loaded with bugs and the worms were dying off. Now we've got the worms coming back a little bit. We're going to bury this back in. And as I said, I didn't see any bugs flying around, so I'm hoping that is the case, that there's no more bugs left in here, and we are good to go and have this sort of come back to life and, you know, start to be a system that I can start using again, maybe every other week with a massive container like that, and really start going through some food in here. So that's my update. I'm going to close this back up. And if you see anything in the video that I missed, because sometimes, you know, when you're blowing this up on a screen, you can see things a little better than I can when, you know, with how big these systems are. Let me know if you see something that was moving that maybe I didn't notice. So, thank you for watching. If you have any questions, please let me know. And please remember, I do have links down below to purchase one of these if you're looking to get an Urban Worm Bag or Vermibag Max, or just some of the products that you see in my videos. I link them all down below in the description. So, thank you for watching.